Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Buppet. Welcome back to the Harry Bash Grand Final Series. We're currently on Game 2 in the best of 5, and Petraeus doing a great job in Game number 1 for basically taking it out there, man. I thought he was going to do some bailing harassment at the start, trying to get some workers, but he saw PiG going for roaches and basically just didn't build any more bailings, just went straight for roaches himself and managed to get out the superior army just a little bit superior. It was looking very, very even, but what Petraeus did was he picked his fight in exactly the right location. So he knew exactly where PiG would come in. He got some creep down, he pooped some creep down from an overlord and basically plopped a spine crawler right in the middle of the path to all of his bases. And when PiG came in, Petraeus engaged him right where the spine crawler was, got a slight advantage, and basically just kept that advantage going, and around the 11-minute mark just completely came out with a victory. So good stuff for him, and very, very nice to be 1-0 in a best of 5. So we'll see if he can keep that advantage rolling on. We can see, actually, I think Petraeus went for a pull first, quite an early pull last game. It didn't really buy him anything though, and we can see that this time he is going for a hatch into pull. So both players playing extremely standard play. Looks like PiG only just now getting the gas, whereas Petraeus has had it for a little while. So he's probably planning to get link speed as soon as the spawning pool comes up. And yeah, it'll be pretty awesome to see some fast lings on the field. I don't know whether they're going to go roaches again. It's definitely a viable option. This map is so freaking big that any sort of early ling bailing pressure is just going to take too long to really roll them out across the field, because of course bailings are very, very, very slow when they don't have speed. So yeah, trying to get them across the field is a bit nuts. What you can do is you can get a bailing nest, and if you've got speed, you can just zoom your lings across the field and then morph them in over there. But that's a bit risky if your opponent has overlords everywhere, is doing a lot of scouting. So yeah, it can be a bit risky, but we do have another bailing nest coming down for Petraeus. This may just be a thing he always does. He always gets a bailing nest versus Zerg players. Interesting, because we haven't seen him face a Zerg player before. This is the first Zerg player we've cast him going up against, so maybe that is a thing. Maybe he always gets a bailing nest, but PiG definitely getting a bailing nest as well. So we may actually be seeing some bailing versus bailing action, which of course is one of the most insane micro battles early game that you'll ever see, because bailing versus bailing, man, trying to get individual lings in there to actually fight the bailings, because of course the best way to deal with bailings is to send 1 or 2 lings to kill the bailings, and then the bailing explodes and all it does is kill the 1 or 2 lings. So it's a lot better from just a losing units point of view. You'd rather lose 1 or 2 lings to the bailing rather than lose, I don't know, 10 or so lings, because a well-placed bailing can actually kill about 10 lings if it's very well placed. But it looks like Petraeus really, really pushing out here, going for a lot of stuff. PiG choosing to go for a lot of workers instead. He's currently 8 workers up. Currently doing quite well, but Petraeus with a ton of lings. Going to try and finish this off very, very early. He's got about 20 more lings than PiG does. Although PiG is getting a lot of bailings on the way. A couple of bailings trying to come in. The Queens have got this blocked off, and actually blocking some of their own drones from getting in there. But should be fine. Bailings blowing up everywhere. Some of PiG's own bailings doing a great job. Some of Petraeus bailings finally making it into the middle line. They're taking out 1 or 2 workers there, I think. And the ling's going to be finishing off those workers on low health. And a somewhat successful raid there by Petraeus. Killed 3 workers. But overall, I don't know. I don't know if that was actually worth it. He lost a lot of lings and a lot of bailings. It's mainly from Queenfire. I think Queenfire gave PiG the advantage right there. And of course, to make up for that, you've got the possibility of killing workers, but he only killed 3 workers there. And PiG was already up by quite a lot of workers. So Petraeus, seeing how little he killed, has chosen to build a ton of workers straight away. And he has at least caught up to PiG in terms of the worker numbers. So he should be fine. Both players, it's basically going to be evened out. That was basically an even trade as far as that fight went. And now just going to be sending in a couple of lings to do a bit of a scout Doesn't see a lair yet, doesn't see a spy, doesn't see anything crazy, so he's going to be happy about that. Got the queen down to half health. He's probably going to be happy about that as well. Ling from Pig doing exactly the same thing. I thought this looked like a widow mine for a sec, but apparently not. And he has seen the lair coming up. The double gas. And is there a double gas down here as well? Yes, there is. So definitely Pig could be expecting to see some mutas coming out soon. But he's going to want to go in and confirm the spire. ASAP. He's going to want to be confirming that. So we'll see how he does with that. He's going to be getting his own third base over here, which is not too bad. It's further from the main base, and of course this ridge, very easy to send lings across, but this one is a little bit easier to defend because you can just watch it. But the lings coming in now, running straight into a couple of banelings, decide just to get out of there, sending a single ling to take care of those guys. And the baneling, is it going to pop up? Oh, takes out a few lings. The rest of the banelings going in. There's one baneling left. If it can take out those three. Doesn't quite, but a bunch of reinforcing lings coming out from Pig. Although they are in danger of getting hit with the banelings, so the banelings just mainly going for workers. And, oh man, too many banelings in this game. Too many banelings, too fast. And everybody just getting wiped out right here. But Petraeus, his spire is nearly finished. He's got a ton of gas stored up. And Pig, I'm not sure what Pig's plan is right yet. He's getting a macro hatch. He hasn't got a roach warren that I know of. He's just got a ton of lings. So he's got to be thinking about finishing it very, very, very soon. I don't think he's even got a lair. No, he hasn't even got a lair, man. What is Pig's game plan right here? I don't know that he actually has one. Because maybe he's just thinking about finishing it. Like, I mean, he really has to. If he doesn't get any more tech, he has to finish the game in the next 2 minutes or so. Because otherwise the mutas are just going to own him. And I honestly don't know if he could do it. I honestly don't think that Pig can make this happen. I mean, he saw the lair coming out. He saw all the gas being mined. He must have known that mutas were a definite possibility. And now he is 100% seeing the mutas. So he's either he knew the mutas were coming in and he just decided to go in and see if he could make it work. Which, looking at the game right now, it just seems completely foolhardy. Or he just didn't know the mutas were coming in. He saw the lair coming out and just didn't expect the mutas to come out. But yes, he's definitely in a bit of problems now. Some spore crawlers coming down and should be able to protect most of the bases, but I just do not know. I mean, if the mutas keep coming out and roaches coming out as well for Petraeus, I don't think Pig is in a very good position for this game. I mean, the lings are getting killed left, right, and center. Not really answering any part of the battle so far. Going to be able to take out a small scouting group from Petraeus, or a small worker harassment group anyway. And now these lings are going to come in, but the mutas are a bit out of position, so maybe they could do something, but no, even banelings around there. And managed to take out the banelings with relatively few losses, but Petraeus, I mean, muta ling means a lot of lings, so he's still got a lot of lings on the field. And he's still doing pretty good. The economy is pretty good, but I tell you what, man, Pig needs something, because right now he is just throwing lings away by sending them over here. The muta's just absolutely shredding them, and there's not a damn thing he can do. He's going for a ton of workers. What is his game plan? What is the tech that he's going for? We don't have a roach warren. We don't have a hydralisk den. I'm assuming he's planning on building one of them because he's getting ranged weapons, but where's the building? I mean, am I missing something here? We got a baneling nest, we got a couple of evo chambers, some gas. There's the roach warren finally. He's finally actually got a building. He needs a hydralisk den or a spire to keep going in this game, and we haven't seen either of them so far, so I really don't know what's going on here with Pig. He's seeing the mutas, he's not creating a response to the mutas. He's just sort of sitting back, macroing, not really worrying too much about the mutas. And maybe he thinks the spores will buy him a lot more time. Spores are extremely good versus mutas, but they're not very good versus the roaches. And the roaches coming in nice and early, and they're going to be taking out queens, taking out spore crawlers, and that is it. GG for Pig. And I really feel like he just wasn't putting his best foot forward in that game. I mean, there were options, but he didn't take them, really. And the mutas, for so long, just kept knocking him back, doing some good stuff. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's some other circumstance which would explain why. He just seemed a little bit off his game, that game. But regardless, yeah, Petraeus may take it out 3-0. I mean, it's just one more game that he has to do, and then he has won this grand final series. And I said last game that I thought Pig would definitely take back at least one game, but I don't know anymore, man. He definitely didn't look like he was had it all together that game. I was looking at it. I was saying, all right, he's got the mutas. What's Pig's gonna do? He didn't really do anything. He didn't really have a plan that I could see to deal with the mutas, and in the end, the mutas killed him. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, but hopefully he picks up his game a little bit in game number 3 and comes back a bit. So, anyway, we'll be checking that out next game. Stay tuned. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.